Thank you for joining me today. This is Natasha Telger with LMI WorkNet, and we are going to go over the DEI Round 5 tools that are available in Illinois WorkNet. And so today what we're going to do is start out with the PowerPoint, and I had emailed it out. If you'd like to download that and you haven't already, it is available in the lower left-hand corner of the screen in the file pod. Another thing with our webinars, that if you're new to our webinars, each of these sections is called a pod, and to make the pod where I'm sharing my computer screen or with the PowerPoint, if you'd like to make it larger, up in the upper right-hand corner of that pod, there's an icon with 4 arrows pointing out to the 4 corners, and that makes that pod full screen, so it's easier for you to see. And then you just select that icon again, and that will put it back to the regular size. If you have any questions, then you can add those into the chat pod, and we'll make sure that we go ahead and go over those, answer those questions for you. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So with the DEI program, what we have, we're using LMI WorkNet to provide tools so that the career planners and partners, DEI partners, can use it as a communication tool and to coordinate activities, and everybody have access to that information within one system. So one of the questions that has been asked is, well, why are we using LMI WorkNet? And so with LMI WorkNet, already has quite a few resources, either self-guided or, what used with staff for employment search, to find training. We have some financial resources, and then also information about supportive services. So we have all different types of tools that are available in LMI WorkNet that can be used. And we'll get to this in a little bit, but when a person applies, if they don't want to complete the full application, then they are guided to those resources. We also have various tools that are available in LMI WorkNet. There's a pointer out here. And these that we're going to talk about today are specifically the DEI tools, which have your dashboards that give you an overview of all of the information for an overview for the entire program for your region, and then a customer list where you can take a look at the customer's assessments, their case notes, identify their progress within the program. Then we have teams, which allow you to give other partners access to the customer information, so it'd be a good communication tool where you can have people, other partners, have access to the same information that you do. And then we have reporting, and so career planners, those responsible for pulling reports, can easily pull all the information for the region using these reports. And so we're doing this more not just for DEI, but as we develop these tools, we want to be able to use the service model and the tools that are in DEI, learn from that, and continue to enhance those tools so that we can use this even beyond after the DEI grant. Today, we're going to talk about the DEI tool specifically. So we have resources for recruiting and outreach. We have an online application. We have intake, dashboard, and different tools that can be used. And then we have the progress page where you can, identify where they are in the progress and identify the different services. And then, again, outcomes and reports. So one of the questions that came up over the past few weeks, I guess, is, well, that's great, but how do we get started? How do we give partners access to the DEI tools? So I have those listed, and they're available on our site as well. But you can go to illinoisworknet.com and create your Illinois WorkNet account. It's also really important to make sure that your organization is listed as a partner, because you have, for starters, you have to have an Illinois WorkNet account in order to access these tools because they're in Illinois WorkNet. And then we have to make you identify your account as a partner account. And whenever we identify you as a partner, we need to associate you with one of our partner sites. So one of the things you can do is go to our Illinois WorkNet Service Finder. That's our listing of partners. And so it's go to illinoisworknet.com. It's under Network and Connect. I have an image here and then the link. And you go to Illinois WorkNet Service Finder. And then if your site's not listed there, then you can submit a request to become a partner. Your information will be reviewed and approved, and then you'll be listed as an Illinois WorkNet partner. And then we need to have the person that's responsible for the DEI career planner that's responsible for adding the partners to the DEI tools. We just need them to send an email to info@illinoisworknet.com and then identify their name, the partner's name, their email, and the level of access. And then we will go ahead and add them to the DEI tools to give access to those tools. So we have a couple different levels. I mentioned that you need to identify the level. And so we have two levels. We have the career planner, caseworker level, and this gives you access to the entire region. And it also gives you access to the reporting that's available for the region and to all the customers in that region. So for career planner, caseworker level, you see everything for that region. We have a partner level. So the partner level, the difference is that the partner level, you only see things that you're directly related with. So we have what we call teams, and the teams will identify different partners and customers that are in that team. And so whoever has a partner level access will only be able to see the information for those customers at the team level. Okay, and they don't have access to the full reporting and all the information, but they will be able to see the customers that they've been directly related to, assigned to. Okay, so as we get started, this is still building off the scenario that we had used in September for the initial training. And so for the scenario, we have a high school student, and she's interested in the program into IT. And so what we have an application checklist that could be sent home with her, or she could pull it up off the internet, and you can take a look at the different types of questions that are asked on the application, and then this person would complete the application online, and this could be either at school or at home. You can have a person, they could have like their parent or somebody else to help them complete the application as needed. And then there's two areas. So in this scenario, this person is completing the full application because they already know that they want to be in the DEI program, and that asks all the questions, and then they can be enrolled into the program. We do have an option that is kind of like just getting started. I only want to learn a little bit more about this program and resources that are available, and so that's available as well from the application page. So this person, they want to complete the application. They have they indicate in this instance that her father is going to help her with completing the application, so they select that option. They go through all of the fields within the application and then submit the application. They can stop and come back and preview their application all the way up until it's submitted. Once the application is submitted, then the customer cannot make any changes to that application. Okay. So once an application has been submitted, then the partner can go in and a career planner can go in and use their DEI tools to see the customer's information. So I just wanted to take a moment to show you as a partner how you access the DEI information. First, you go to illinoisworknet.com and you log into your account. Then you'll see, once you're logged into your account, you'll see a listing that says My Dashboard. Once you go to your dashboard, you'll see an option for Partner Tools, and you'll default to My Tools, but you select the option for Partner Tools, and then at the top of your list, you should see DEI, the DEI Partner Tools icon and link. And if you don't see it, please let us know. You can either contact the DEI Career Planner, or you can send an email to info@illinoisworknet.com, and we can take a look at that, make sure that you are set up to have access to those tools. Because if we haven't given you access to them, then you won't see this. You only see it if you have access. So once you log into your tools, you're going to be defaulted to the dashboard. And the dashboard gives you an overview of where everything is in Illinois, within the DEI program in Illinois WorkNet. So with the dashboard, we have a couple different, or some standards that we always try to keep pretty much to the same rules, or whenever we possibly can. And we have some color coding. So the white means it's more for an informational only. Yellow means that there's action that needs to be completed, and green means that they're good to go and they'll be moving on to the next section. So each section is broken out. So you can see the first one is the DEI application, and you can see who has an incomplete application, who's only completed the starter application, and who has completed the full application. Okay, so in this case, they see that a person has updated or completed their application. They select that link, and they go to their list of customers, and they can review the information. They can use, when they review the information, they can look at the full application, the completed application, and they also have access to a progress page. So they'll obviously review the information, talk to the person. They can update their enrollment status to indicate that they are enrolled in the program. And then for DEI Round 5, then you will identify what provider level. Are they at the secondary, post-secondary, or at the LWIA provider level? And this is important that these are identified because this impacts reporting. So we need to know what level they're at. Then you can also, in this example, they work with a partner, and they determine that they need to have an integrated resource team. So they go ahead and set that up and update the progress page. If this person has a ticket to work status that they indicated that yes, they do, then what you would need to do is just verify in the Social Security Administration system their ticket to work, and then they can update it, or you can update it. So you can identify if the customer has not assigned their ticket, if they've already assigned it to the LWIA, or if they've already assigned it to another organization. Okay. So then I mentioned before that there's two different levels. So you have your career planner level, and then you have your partner level. And so, okay, so the question is, what would be considered another organization? So as far as the ticket to work, I think I haven't personally looked into at the SSA system, so I don't know if Matt or somebody can answer that better. That it will show, I guess, if it's been assigned. So if they have a ticket to work, then they can choose to assign it to the OEA, or they can choose to assign it to some other organization. So I don't know what those other organizations would be, but I believe that's identified within the SSA system. Okay, so the other thing, okay, so anyway, we talked about the career planner has access to everything. The partner has access to only what the people that they've been given access to. So in this case, Dan would go in and select teams, and then they would select add a team or update a team, and they would enter the name for the team, enter a description, and then they could add Lynn as a partner to this team. And by adding the partner to this team, it gives it that partner access to whoever is listed as a customer on that same team. So that's how you give partner level access, is through the teams. Okay? And so with the teams, again, they can see the information. They can't pull the full listing of reports, but they can see the information for their teams and what's directly for them. Okay, and then the other thing that I didn't mention earlier is that when we look at a dashboard, each of these areas on the dashboard has a little information bubble, and the information bubble provides a definition for the listing of people that, who's considered in that count. So in this example, we have their section is OEA Staff Assisted Services. So in this case, the customers that are in this area are WIO registered customers that have had their services, or I'm sorry, they're WIOA customers that have had their services either entered by a career planner into IWDS. So if they're a registered WIOA customer registrant, then the career planner would enter those services into IWDS. And then, but they also have your partners have ability to add services too. So if they provided them some assistance with, career planning or something like that, then those types of services can be added by partners as well. But it does differentiate between the services that are added by IWDS and the ones that are entered by partners. So I guess the takeaway for this is that you can add services in for your customers through Illinois WorkNet, but if they are a WIO registrant, then the services will need to be added through IWDS at this time. Does IWDS and WorkNet feed to each other? Okay, so yes, and when a person completes the application, that information populates IWDS. But whenever, if you have, at this point in time, if you need to add services, then the actual, for a WIOA registrant, we need to add those through IWDS. It won't populate WIOA registrant services as a service, but you do have the ability, your partners and you have the ability to add, services like I said, like if they did some, I don't know, some career planning or add a referral, and those that type of information, a service, a referral, a note, a reminder, those can all be added in through Illinois WorkNet, and they do populate IWDS, but they populate IWDS as a case note at this time. Again, one of the end goals is to have it so that we can work towards populating services, but that feature is not currently implemented. Does that make sense? Just to clarify, the application populates IWDS. If you're going to make them a WEO registrant, you still have to complete the full guided application, but it does populate bit with base information. And if they are, and the services and all these other things populate as case notes right now. So Illinois WorkNet populates IWDS with case notes, but IWDS populates Illinois WorkNet, and we can identify the services and differentiate services and case notes. Do they have to be a registrant in IWDS? I believe to have an IRT they have to, but you can still count them, and Matt's typing in so he can better. Okay. So one of the things that I had mentioned before is this progress page. And the progress page allows you to update the status on this person, whether they're WEO registrant or not. And you can identify DEI services, and you can identify whether they're enrolled in a program or not. And this information is available on your dashboard. And the reason why it's on your dashboard is because we would like the information to be completed at least every 30 days. And so what you're going to see on this list is the yellow line that says the progress update is due. And that means that the person hasn't had their progress page updated within the past 30 days. You'll see your listing of your number of people where their progress is current, or where their progress update is not required. And so that would be a person that has been exited from the program for a specific time period, and so the progress page doesn't need to be updated on a continuing basis. Now, this is really hard to see, but we'll go through this. And also, there are instructions on all of this with screen captures of each of these sections and notes. Those are available for you. But just to let you know that this is an example of a progress page. And I know you can't really see this that well, but you can identify their ticket to work status, update that, their enrollment. In this case, we have the provider level. We have some information that we'll be pulling in from, I just saw you. Let me go ahead and unmute you. There you go.
Hi, I didn't have anything right now. I just wanted to be ready for more questions.
Okay. Okay. And so we have some more information on their services, and that's something that we would pull from IWDS. We have the career goal information and some of the services. So any of these services that are entered into IWDS will populate this area in the services. The same thing with the training services. Any of that information that's populated in IWDS will populate in the progress page and credentials, the employment history. So those are the different fields that are within the progress page. Well, we have a couple different ways for reporting. We have the dashboard, which you can select the number that's next to it, which provides you a listing of customers, and you can export that list for the customers and for related information. Then we also have specific reports that are available. We have a listing of those who have started an application if you wanted to follow up with that group. And then we have a list of the a formal report that you can pull for those that are enrolled in DEI, and then you can use the filters to filter out, for specific demographics and groups. Now, this is one item that we need to work on with NAT. We have it for round 4, so we'll have something similar for round 5, which is the outcomes report. So it's really important that we keep the information up to date, services updated for the WIOA registrants, and then also, any of the information, the provider levels, especially if they change from, secondary to post-secondary, something like that. We want to make sure we capture that information, and we will have, I'm sure, an outcome report and a cumulative outcome report, and so we'll be working with that on that. The other item that would be, I'm sure, of interest to you is the team report. So you can pull a listing of those members that are in your team and their organization and so forth. So that team report is available as well. And remember, the teams, that's how I said that you give your partners that just only have partner level access. That's how you give them access to all the customers, to specific customers. You can have career planners as well as partners on your teams. Okay. So this is our next scenario, and this is an example of a career planner who has who's doing some recruiting. Maybe there are people that are already in IWDS that meet the criteria, meet the age level criteria, location criteria, as well as being identified as a person with a disability. So there is a link there that says click here to see eligible PWDs, person with disability, link here on the dashboard. And you can pull in that list of those customers from IWDS. And when you do, you'll see that there's a list of eligible people. And you click on the link, and it gives you a list of customers. And you can select the link, and it'll give you the customer information. So you can just follow up with them to see if they would like to participate or not. You can send an invite to the participant. So if this person, contacts them, see if they'd like to participate, then they say yes, this person wants to participate. And what will be sent out is an automatic instruction email, but it will be customized, with the specific contact person's information, or it can be customized with specific contact information, so you can customize it, and it'll be sent to the customer's email that comes from Illinois WorkNet. So on your printout, you'll be able to see the full email, and then you can see that this has the person's contact information. And let's say that you contact Pat, but Pat can't remember the login to their account, and they can't recover it, and they just don't know what to do. So if they contact you and say, I need my password recovered, I don't know my information, you have that listing of customers. You can either go to the customer list and select, to enter their information and pull that customer, or you can go back to, that the list of the eligible PWDs, and you'll see that person on the list. And whenever you go there, then there's a link there for you to recover their password. So it'll give you the information that you need to help recover their password. Okay. Another way to recruit people, I guess you could say, is if people have gone to the site and they've completed their starter applications, or they haven't completed or they have an incomplete application, you can take a look at those people on your dashboard and select the link. And whenever you go to their page, you'll see the information of where they left off, but then they also have a link here to help the customer finish the application. So maybe they've started a full application, or maybe they've just done the starter application. Regardless of that, there is a link when you select that person, when you navigate to that person, to help them finish the application. Okay. So first of all, I want to take you to look at the resources that are available. Let me go ahead and open up a new pod here. I'm going to share my computer screen in just a second. And again, if you need it to be larger size, you can select that option up at the top right, the icon. Okay, let me go to, I'm going to go to onlyworknet.com, and you can use the short URL that's in the PowerPoint, or you can just go to onlyworknet.com, and at the bottom of the page, you'll see a link to partner resources. And on the partner resources page, you will see the DEI partner guide. And this has the listing of resources that are available right now, and we can add more, especially if there's more that are needed. Just let me know, and I can create it and add it to this page. You'll see that, for example, we have the participants complete the application. We have a round 4 checklist and a round 5 checklist. And they're just because there are a couple questions that are a little bit different for the round 5 than round 4. So you can access, whenever you look and you see multiple options, go ahead and choose round 5. Just click on, let me go ahead and click on the customer progress page for this one. So let me zoom in. So you can see it shows you how to access the partner tools, where you can see accessing your list of customers, and it goes through each of these areas. So you can see where you can update their ticket to work, their application status, enrollment, identify the provider level. It'll tell you if you need to update, if they're a WIO registrant, if you need to update that information in IWDS, or if you can enter it into through Illinois WorkNet, and same with the training, the credentials, and employment. Then it also tells you, who can access it, where does it populate, and other information, and if the customer can see that page. So those types of instructions are available off of the DEI Partner Guide page. We also have the full list of resources. Again, we can add more to that as needed. We will have this video, the archived webinar, available in the archived webinars, also with the training materials and videos. And then FAQ, and then updates. So that's all available from the partner guide. Now I need to go to, I want to go ahead and show you an application. This is on our test site. We try never to test in production unless it's absolutely necessary, and we'll let you know and remove it if you see my name in there, or Scarlett's name. know that we had to do some testing, and we'll remove it so it doesn't mix up with your numbers. Okay, so this is our test site, and if I am a customer, this is what I'm going to see. When I go to this page, I can see, because we have a combination of round 4, round 5, and if I can go ahead and complete the full application. I'm going to say, yes, I already have an Illinois WorkNet account. I have a test account already set up. I'm going to try to do it as, let me do this in another window because it's remembering that I'm logged in. Let me do this one more time. And I have a test customer that is available I'd like to show you. Okay. Okay. Now again, this is my test site. So you can see I have my agreement, and I've already selected that I want to complete the full application. So I'm going to select I am a person with a disability. I'm going to save and go to the next page. And I have some information. Let me go ahead. I'm going to put in a round 5 address. Yeah. I got my zip code here. Already picked up for me. Okay. And then I'm just going to add in a phone number. And then when I do that, then I can choose an organization. Again, remember this is just a test site. It's going to put them in order, distance, closest location to them. And I can go ahead and enter information. Okay, because I'm not showing us 18. Okay. Okay. Sorry about this. I should have. Oh, if the person is under 18, then they're going to have to enter in their parent or guardian's contact information. So you're seeing that in action. Okay, so you'll see you select the highest level of education completed. If you have any credentials that can be added, you can select that they're not in the labor force. Have you ever had a job? If you say yes, then they're going to be prompted to enter in employment. Otherwise, you can say no, and you can save and go to the next page. And then you'll see that they can identify which kind of barriers. So if they select that they have a disability, they can go to the next page and identify these disabilities. And these are questions that are specifically in IWDS. And whenever you complete them in Illinois WorkNet, then when they submit their application, upon submitting the application, it will populate IWDS. So that'll cover the information that's on that DEI page in IWDS. Okay, and then how did you hear about us? other, they can go to the next page, and then you can see that they get a summary of all the information that they've completed. And then if they need to make changes, you just go back and edit the changes. Okay. Now I'm going to go in as a career planner. Let me go ahead on this page and go into my test system as well. No. Oh, wait a minute. I can't remember. I want to say my first initial, the short, hold on, let me go back to my other screen. Since it might have pulled it in already, because I know I didn't enter it. Yes, it's here. With the short application, I believe it doesn't ask for it. The full application does ask for it. But in this case, I already had my workNet account, so it pulled it because it was already. Okay, so so now I'm logged in to my test site as a partner, as a career planner. And so I'm going to go ahead and look at the round 5 dashboard. And then whenever, here we go. And so for the round 5 dashboard, you can see that I can see any started applications and full or completed applications and incomplete applications. If I select the incomplete application, then you'll see that we have a test account that are in here, and this is the person that I was logged in to, and I have not completed my application. So I can select my profile, the profile for this person, and help that customer complete their application. So maybe they thought that they submitted it, but then they forgot, they didn't realize that they didn't actually submit it. You still have access to that customer, and you can still, review the information and just help them complete that application. So again, incomplete applications, those who just did starter applications, and those who have completed the full application. We also have this broken down so that you can see, because it does do a sync with IWDS, you can see a listing of customers that are WHEEL registrants and a listing of customers that are not WHEEL registrants. You can see who needs to have their progress page updated. So I could select that listing of people. And I'm going to go ahead and select this person. And you can see that the full application, and this person has employment listed, and so you can see that full application for the customer. I can look at their DEI progress page, and I can see that this person already said that they didn't have a ticket to work status, or they didn't have a ticket to work. If this changes, then we would need to update that in IWDS, because when the application is submitted, it doesn't rewrite over the information that's in IWDS. So we'd need to update it in IWDS to say, yes, now they have a ticket to work. But it tells you that right there. So you can select their level. This information must be entered in IWDS, so it tells you that that information must be entered in IWDS. You can select their career cluster and their career choice. And then you can add services. There's your start and end date. You can do the type of services. If you add services in through this section, it will populate IWDS as a case note. You can add training services. Again, populates as the case note. That's the progress page, so you'll see those on for your customers. We have the services, referrals and notes, reminders. So you can add a service, again, populates as a case note. We have the referral, the note. The note you can send as a message, and we say a message, maybe we might need to put an info bubble here, but the message is that will be sent to their Illinois WorkNet account. Or if you send both a message and an email, it goes to their Illinois WorkNet account messages section, as well as whatever email is within their Illinois WorkNet profile. Or you might just add a note and choose not to show customer. It's just as a case note. And then you can also send a reminder. Now, the reminder is basically a note just to say, hey, you need to show up next week for whatever, for this training, or reminder this is due next week. At this time, it doesn't populate on a calendar, kind of like, you would expect, like your phone might have a reminder that says, it doesn't set up like an appointment. It's just literally a note to send them a reminder. But that is something that we want to add that feature in as we move forward to have it set up more like a literal reminder, like an alarm or something. But then once those have been entered, then you'll see them on this page. We have this outcomes, and for future, I'd like to see this moved under services, referrals, and notes, but this is where it is at the moment. These are examples of what it would, if it's coming in from IWDS, so you could see the different services that were entered for this person for IWDS. And then any case notes. So any case notes that are entered into IWDS, you would be able to see them on this page as well. And then if this person has any Illinois WorkNet assessments, those are available through through these tools as well. So if they have Employment 101, if they've taken it, they can see it. The NOCD, if they've completed those results will be there. If an observational assessment or worksite evaluation has been completed for this person, then those will populate into the assessment section as well. Okay, and then real quickly, teams. Again, the career planner is the one that can add teams. So to add a team, you just type in a name and a description, and you can, once you do that, you can edit it as you need to. You can add partners. So I can add other partners that are career planners, or I can add at the partner level, both. And then I can also add customers. Again, this is the test environment, so let's see what we have on here. And that's it as far as creating a team. Pretty simple. And then we have a listing of reports that are available. So we'll have the starter application, so you can pull a list of who's completed those starter applications to follow up with them. A full list that has the demographic information for the customers that have completed the application. And these, of course, are for round 4, but we will have round 5 outcome reports, I know, and then the team report. Okay, so let me show you an example of something in real DEI. Okay. I'm sorry, I have multiple windows open. I do this to myself all the time. And let me see if I have a my DEI page open that I'm already logged into. I did at one time. I might have closed it on accident. Okay, I'm just going to go to my dashboard. And you can go ahead and ask questions. I see that a question was asked of where it's located in the in IWDS. And I would have to look at that, but there's a specific page. It's a DEI page. But I can find out that information for you and send it to you or post it. Okay, so I'm actually looking at production. I just wanted to show you an example of some teams. And let me go. This one doesn't have any customers, so I can show you them. But you can see they are the partners that are added, and they have different. You can add customers. I didn't want to put a customer's name out there, but let me do the team report. Yeah. I'm going to export it. I just wanted to show you an example of an export. So with the partners, I just want to really show you that, you can see the partners' first and last name, their email, phone numbers, organizations, and so you can see exactly who's on each of the teams and what type of organization they are. So that's why it's really important that whenever you're setting up your partners, that we make sure that they're associated with the right organization, because when you do the team report, it's going to pull in that partner, but it's also going to pull in the organization information that's associated with that partner. Okay. So that's an overview of the tools. I know I went through it really quickly, but if you'd like to ask questions, or I don't know, Matt, if you had anything specifically that you wanted to point out, or you want me to go over again if I didn't cover it fully.
Sorry, I was on mute. Not that I heard, Natasha, but I'm just kind of waiting to see what folks think. Should we just unmute everybody so we can all talk?
Sure. Let me see. There's only a couple people. There's only one other person. But otherwise, please ask questions. You can ask questions via the chat. If you wanted to call in, let me go ahead and I'll put the phone number here, and you're welcome to call in and ask questions verbally.
Lisa and Pepper, Ticket is going to be mostly managed through the DEI dashboard. The only thing that you're going to put into iWiz regarding Ticket is going to be on that initial screen where it asks if the individual is Ticket eligible.
Right. So most of the time people, well, I can't say most of the time, but it seems like in past conversations with the other people is that they'll indicate that, yes, they have a ticket or no, but sometimes it might take, if they've applied, and correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, if they've applied for a ticket to work, it might take, I don't know, a long time, 3 months, 6 months, something like that.
There's no application for Ticket to Work. Anyone who is SSI, is receiving SSI or SSDI, has a Ticket to Work. Assignment, I wouldn't know. I mean, I would probably ask the Voc Rehab folks that are on the call if they know better, since my DRCs from round 4 who have experience with it are not on the call. I know that the SSA system is a completely different system, and that we've gotten very mixed reviews from our DRCs under DEI Round 4 as far as, you know, the new SSA ticket system. They just rolled out a new interface in the middle of DEI Round 4, actually. So those folks thought that the new system was better than the old one, but still had some serious flaws. So whether or not they worked those out on the SSA end, I'm not sure.
Well, as I understand that there's at some point in time there can be a lag whether they identify it as having a ticket or not. I don't know the details.
It might be an assignment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, an assignment of the ticket, because you can only assign to one entity. So, you know, and that's the individual's decision on who they want to assign their ticket to. You might be serving folks without having the ticket assigned to you. Pepper's got a lot of experience with this too, because Pepper saw Ticket to Work individuals under DEI Round 1, and then my understanding was that they have continued to see ticket customers since then. So they've been in EN for a while. You know, Corinne still hasn't gotten through the process. That process takes a while in order to get all your clearances. Anybody have any other questions? As far as the question that Lisa and Pepper had regarding paid services needing to be enrolled in WIOA, unless you can convince me otherwise, I think that would have to be the case, because you know, the only thing that you could, the only part of your DEI grant that you could spend on an individual for direct services would be, you know, your flexible funding dollars, but you wouldn't have a way of case managing those services without them being enrolled in WIOA. You wouldn't have a way of enrolling them in those services without WIOA. And those paid services will have to be recorded. If nobody else has any questions, that's fantastic. It's really good to know that everybody's on the same page. Natasha will record this, and anybody who's going to have, I know that Corinne has folks on her squad that are going to be seeing DEI customers, like other case managers, apparently, I believe, from some of the email traffic that I've seen out of her. I'm sure that, you know, maybe our partners at Division of Rehab Services would like for some of their case managers to see this in case they're going to be involved in the IRT process. So, you know, we'll just wait for Natasha to send out the recorded webinar, and we'll talk soon. Thanks, everybody.
Okay. Thank you.